Seems appropriate since, well, this happened a little bit earlier in the week and there's been a rash of shootings in Democrat-controlled areas, but still, it's important because Joe Biden, he's tackling this gun problem head-on by restricting ghost guns, because that would have stopped a Glock in New York City and all those other shootings that went down without the use of a ghost gun. It's like if you're trying to stop a rash of the stabbings and you decide to outlaw sharpeners, I don't know what to tell you. This is just one of the most pedantic and out of touch decisions, but it's perfectly in line with this administration, because I would hazard a guess, okay, without somebody who's either in his ear or has it emblazoned on both of the teleprompters in front of it, or on front of him, sorry. Well, to be fair, I don't know if he's a projection in and of himself at this point, but he has no fucking idea what he's holding if he wasn't being told what was in his hand at that moment. He just looks like such a feeble old man in this picture. And again, how appropriate. Biden announces restrictions on ghost guns and nominates an ATF director because your last one went up in flames because he was vehemently against firearms, which is appropriate for the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division of the United States government. Makes total sense, right? It's only the Second Amendment in the fucking United States Constitution. I don't like that one, so what's about the rest of them? I don't like the second one. Well, this one's pretty important, and it's there for a fucking reason. President Joe Biden announced a new executive action Monday restricting ghost guns and made another nomination for director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Where's the E on that? ATFE? The Department of Justice announced that it has submitted to the Federal Register Monday a final rule on ghost guns, unregistered firearms that can be built using a kit ordered online. How many shootings have been caused, and how many future shootings have been stopped because of a build-it-at-home kit for a firearm that requires specialized tools in order to bore out the chamber, and then you also have to assemble the gun as well. But yeah, no, you're definitely going to do that by restricting gun enthusiasts from engaging in their hobby. Makes total sense. But because they don't have serial numbers, that means that they're more likely to commit crimes. Sure thing. Biden's rule will require kits that can be used to build a gun to be registered as such. Okay. It also includes an effort to serialize ghost guns already in circulation. Additionally, Biden's order will update serialization and background check laws for guns with split receivers, and requires firearms dealers to retain records for them as long as their business is open. Probably shit that they already do to begin with. You buy a ghost gun kit, okay? You buy all the necessary accoutrements. I'm sure they're probably keeping your information in a database anyways, but now it's in writing. Again, whatever. NRA calls this rule I'm about to announce extreme. Nobody takes the NRA seriously, okay? It's like whenever a Republican or a conservative thinks that, oh my god, the left has gone too far. See, even Bill Maher said so. It's like the Democrats do that with gun control. It's like, oh, the NRA says that this is so bad. Nobody takes the NRA seriously, okay? There are other organizations that are out there that are actually still doing good things in regards to the keeping and maintaining the Second Amendment. The NRA is not that fucking place anymore. He probably thinks Charlton Heston is still in charge, and he's probably still pissed off about this. Fucking dolt. Let me ask you, is it extreme to protect police officers? Oh my god. No, Joe, continue down your list of loaded questions. Extreme to protect our children, extreme to keep the guns out of the hands of the people who couldn't even pass a background check. Yeah, no, ask the guy who's still on the loose in New York City. Ask Ethan Crumbly in Michigan, who used a ghost gun to commit that atrocity in Oxford High School. Oh wait, he didn't use a ghost gun? Oh, okay, cool, that's what I thought. The idea that someone on a terrorist list could purchase one of these guns, cool. Has that happened yet? Has that even been threatened to have happened yet? No, you're just virtue signaling, and you're further trying to restrict the rights of the American people, the lawful, legal, law-abiding citizens of the United States. Yeah, that's exactly. Other bad people are committing crimes that are crimes, quantifiable crimes, okay? Murders, assaults, use of deadly physical force. And what are you going to do? We're going to punish the people who were following the rules even harder. Fuck off. This rule isn't extreme, he said. Well, the president said it. That means that it has to be true. It's just basic common sense. No, it's not. You're the most radical asshole who has ever been in the Oval Office when it comes to the Second Amendment. What is the only piece of legislation that he could hang his hat on after, 9,000 years in the Senate? The 1990 something Firearms Act. I was a sponsor. I've got a sponsor. I should call him. It'd be great. We'd have a nice talk. I wonder what Corn Pop's doing. I just can't believe somebody who doesn't have 2 pennies to run together is talking about common sense. Whatever. The new rule, as Biden noted, is coming under criticism from Republicans and Second Amendment advocates and normal, regular people who understand that punishing people who don't commit crimes even harder in order to take action against criminals who would commit crimes regardless makes no fucking sense. Today, President Biden chose once again to appease the far left. Oh, God, who's saying this? Daniel Webster. Over enforcing border security or policies that would restore fiscal responsibility. You can walk and chew gum at the same time, but I get where you're talking about. But again, it's just these boilerplate Republican talking points. You should do whatever we're thinking you should be doing instead of making these vague platitudes. It's like, one of the things that Biden did campaign on is taking away your firearms. Okay, that was one of the things that was high up on his list. So he's fulfilling campaign promises, okay, even a year and change afterwards, and he's still just dropping them. And instead of picking it up, he's punting it as far as he can and then slipping and falling like Charlie Brown when Lucy takes away the football. Even before the final rule was published, Gun Owners of America, that's one of those good Second Amendment organizations that are out there. As you can see, there's not any NRA statements that are out there, but we'll call them out as the big boogeyman. Sure thing. We'll get them to revoke John Wayne's membership. Whatever. Even before the final rule was published, GOA announced plans to fight back immediately, claiming Rule 2021 R05 would allow ATF to expand its nearly billion record gun registry and regulate gun parts as firearms. Yeah, exactly. Would you allow the transportation ministry, secretary, whatever, would you allow Pete Buttigieg to start regulate things like tires, steering wheel covers, novelty decals for vehicles as fully fledged vehicles? I don't think so, because that's basically what's happening here with firearms. Biden's proposal to create a comprehensive national gun registry and end the online sale of gun parts without a passage of a new law exemplifies his disregard for the Second Amendment. I'm glad this guy actually is, smart and shit. Okay, you can tell by his statement here as opposed to, because you got boilerplate talking points from Daniel Webster, or let's see if Thomas Massey does something better. Constitution does not authorize the federal government to protect you from making your own firearm. At least he's on point with this one. He's not deflecting. This is a fact that has been recognized for 200 plus years. Also, Article 1, Section 1, literally the first operative sentence in the Constitution says Congress makes laws, not POTUS. Good statement, but that was posted Sunday before Biden made his nomination a day later. But back to the statement from the GOA. Congress must provide oversight by striking down ATF's illegal gun registration rule by the Congressional Rule Act by passing Representative Michael Cloud's No Registry Rights Act to eliminate ATF's billion record gun registry. Yep, couldn't get it passed through the House, so guess what? What he said about Trump, he rules like a dictator. And what do? Just sign executive orders. But it's not a law or anything. It's just more like guidelines, really. Biden made no mention of a national gun registry as part of his new executive order, but the new definition of frame or receiver and identification of firearms rule is implemented as written. A GOA maintains it will mandate the serialization of gun parts, forcing Americans to undergo a background check for the new legal firearm in order to repair or buy replacement parts for their guns. Yeah, that's a fucking pain in the ass. So you have to go through all of that bureaucratic red tape to just get a new trigger, okay? A new scope or sight. That's really going to stop all of those shootings that happen with legal firearms, illegally acquired firearms that happen. I'm sure this is going to put a dent in the fucking weekly shootings in Chicago. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki mumble-fucked her way through something. Let's get to this new ATF nomination. Let's see if Steve Dettelbach He's a better person. We'll see. I highly doubt it. Biden's previous nomination, David Chipman. All right. Cousin of Bob, convicted pedophile, was pulled back in September as Chipman found opposition from Senate Republicans and some Democrats. You know you're a radical when. Chipman's history of gun control advocacy had him squaring off against gun rights groups, or just sane people. Why would you want to run an organization that is vehemently, against your own deeply held beliefs? I'm just asking, maybe for a friend. Dettelbach was confirmed for his position as U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Ohio in 2009. He also spent 2 decades as prosecutor for the DOJ, according to the White House facts sheet. Dettelbach also ran an unsuccessful campaign for Ohio Attorney General. Perfect nominee for the Biden administration. Also ran fucking career failures, during which he advocated for an assault weapons ban, among other gun control measures, according to the Ohio Public Radio Station, WOSU. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So what's going to be the difference? So, okay, you couldn't get one, let me get this straight. You couldn't get one Second Amendment detractor, so now you're going to push a different one with maybe a fuller head of hair? Why would this work? Biden on Monday touted Dettelbach's record as making him qualified to lead the ATF on day one, or perhaps it was supposed to say one day. Biden added that the mission of the ATF isn't controversial, it's public safety. No, it's about overstepping their bounds and regulations and being as unnecessary as the several other fucking multi-lettered agencies that have no real use or importance. National Shooting Sports Foundation, NSSF, was among the gun owners' rights groups that opposed Chipman's nomination. The group said in a statement it has significant concerns with Dettelbach's record, but will withhold judgment until after Senate confirmation hearings, whenever those are going to occur. GOA once again said that Dettelbach is a big-time gun control supporter. It seems to check out. Whose background should make him ineligible to lead the ATF. Yeah, but he has very good points about tobacco, alcohol, and explosives. So come on now. Come on, man. Support for infringements on our constitutionally protected rights should disqualify anyone and every public office. Yeah, no, God, I wish Gun Owners of America was running these organizations. Seems like shit would be moving a little bit more smoothly and we wouldn't be running these fucking retreads over and over and over again. Top spot for the ATF had been mostly vacant since it became a Senate-confirmed position in 2006. The only other person to serve as a permanent ATF director since that time was Byron Todd Jones, who filled the role from 2013 to 2015. Just goes to show you how important the ATF really is, because most of their work can also be done by the FBI, CIA, Homeland Security. Well, let's see why it's important all of a sudden. Biden's ATF nomination and new gun rules are meant to address a nationwide increase in violent crime in recent years. The rate of violent crime nationally has reached a 10-year high in 2020, according to the data from the FBI. This includes a year-over-year jump in homicides from 69.77 in 2019 to 96.30 in 2020. Wow, what happened over 2020? Can't quite remember. I thought everybody was at home scared of the coof. Anyways, several major cities reported dramatic increases in crime last year. Oh, okay, cool. Some estimate last year nationwide murder rates to be a near 25-year high. The murder rate was estimated at 6.9 murders per 100,000 people in 2021. And all of those could have been prevented by just banning and outlawing ghost guns. Okay, last year, roughly 20,000 suspected ghost guns were recovered by law enforcement and criminal investigations. Cool. Anytime that there's an open investigation, the first thing officers do is confiscate firearms. Okay, so that means absolutely nothing. Okay. There was probably a whole host. If anybody has a ghost gun is never somebody's first fucking firearm. I'm sure you can find one person that's out there, but they're an outlier in this, okay? If you're out there building and assembling firearms, you probably have a nice little arsenal, okay? And all the power to you, okay? But let's be fucking real, okay? This is absolutely just a worthless gesture and another encroachment on your Second Amendment rights, so At least you're aware of it. We'll see what happens with the Senate confirmation. To me, it kind of just seems like this is just going to be another one of those Chipman situations. We'll see if Republicans just roll over on this one like they do with a whole bunch of other stuff. But again, maybe they'll stand strong on this because the Second Amendment is one of those things that they like to trot out there as a talking point alongside woke and social justice and, I don't know, leftism and cancel culture, whatever other nonsense they like to tout every once in a while. But ATF nomination looks screwy, and banning ghost guns or serializing ghost guns or creating a big gun registry. Yeah, it's totally on par for Biden. He fucking sucks at everything. So why wouldn't he take this opportunity to fuck up? It would just be better if we just shuffled Grandpa into Air Force One and let him go for a long weekend. Hey, no, it's Easter this weekend, so God knows he'll just be jetting off here. If not today, then tomorrow. That's for true. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.